Disclaimer: the following narrative is based on open source reports and public claims.
Imagine a scenario once thought impossible. The Caribbean Sea, a region known for calm waters and tourism, is now shifting into a rising military flashpoint. In the middle of escalating global tensions, one shocking development has emerged. Russia's Bastion coastal defense system, supported by long-range Chinese radar technology, is now reportedly capable of detecting, tracking, and if necessary, destroying U.S. Navy carrier strike groups operating near the Caribbean. This is no longer theory or propaganda. This is a new military reality forming right in America's backyard. Let's start with the system at the center of this growing tension, the Bastion P. This isn't just another missile launcher. The Bastion P is designed specifically to counter large naval assets, including supercarriers. Its primary weapon, the P-800 Onyx, along with a rumored upgraded hypersonic variant, has a range stretching hundreds of kilometers in advanced terminal maneuvering that makes interception extremely difficult. The Onyx flies at supersonic speed and can skim low along the sea surface to avoid radar detection. In the terminal phase, it accelerates and performs evasive maneuvers, making it nearly impossible for defenses like Aegis, CRAM, or ESSM to stop. But recent intelligence suggests Bastion may not rely on Onyx alone. There is growing speculation that the system has been adapted or is being prepared to fire the M22 Zircon hypersonic missile. If Zircon has indeed arrived in the Caribbean, it changes everything. Zircon travels several times faster than sound, maneuvers aggressively during the final attack stage, and gives defending ships almost zero reaction time. A single strike could cripple or sink a billion-dollar carrier. But this threat does not operate alone. What makes the situation even more serious is the involvement of Chinese early warning radar infrastructure. Reports indicate that an over-the-horizon OTH radar system, capable of tracking ships and aircraft thousands of kilometers away, has been deployed or integrated with command structures in Latin America. In modern warfare, the side with better information holds the advantage. With this radar feed, command centers can track U.S. naval forces long before they enter regional waters. Bastion can receive precise targeting coordinates in real time. That means a U.S. carrier could be locked long before its onboard radar detects anything unusual. In a real conflict scenario, the first warning might not be radar detection. It might be impact. So the question now is, will the United States accept that the military dominance it maintained in the Western Hemisphere for decades is now being challenged? Right now, U.S. naval forces in the Caribbean face a strategic dilemma: stay and risk becoming a target, or withdraw and acknowledge a shifting balance of power. Some defense analysts believe the U.S. may respond by increasing its presence in the region, deploying more Aegis-equipped destroyers, placing Virginia-class submarines closer to the area, or even adding a second carrier group to the region as a show of force. But such a move could escalate tensions and increase the risk of miscalculation. There is also the possibility of upcoming joint exercises between Russia, China, and Venezuela. If that happens, the Caribbean could evolve into a fortified anti-access zone, similar to what China has built in the South China Sea. Such a shift would mark one of the biggest geopolitical realignments in modern history. Wars don't always begin with explosions. Sometimes they begin with strategic positioning, changing alliances, and one side boldly challenging a long-standing balance of power. Today, that challenge has appeared in the Caribbean, and one thing is clear: the region will never be the same. So now the final question is this: is this just a show of strength or the first step in a new global military order? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Because if tensions continue to rise, we may be witnessing the early stages of one of the biggest power shifts of the century.